Hello, gentlemen. Thank you so much for letting me hang out at Gulf Avenue a little bit yesterday. Took a really good look at the property just so I could give you some very in-depth, detailed feedback regarding where I feel you've been struggling selling the house. So I've already emailed you a pricing analysis, and according to that information, I do feel that you've been very ambitious on the price, especially considering its amenities and the condition. So I just wanted to tap into a few things to show you exactly what I'm talking about, and of course, I'm always here if you have any questions. If you want top dollar for a house, it obviously has to be in tip-top condition. This market is very different than what it was 2 years ago, and we are finding that buyers are being much more picky about the condition of a home and the repairs that they would like to have done prior to closing. So with that in mind, as soon as they walk into the house, before they even get in, they're greeted with a whole bunch of debris and stuff that's just around the exterior of the home that definitely needs to be removed and tidied up. Not quite sure what this Velcro strip is around the door, so feel free to get that out of there. There are some very minor things that you can do that aren't gonna cost you a dime. One, get rid of all of the paperwork that's kind of littered throughout the house, especially that overdue bill notice that's on the kitchen. Clean up the bugs that are around the windowsills. And also, I don't know why those things are dangling on the fans. I'm not a very tall person. I could easily reach the pull strings, so I would get rid of those things as well. If the projects are done, get rid of the tools, get rid of the evidence that anything was ever done so that it feels more like a home. Some of the repairs just don't seem to feel completed, and I am not a contractor, but even I know that that light in the bathroom is supposed to be recessed into the wall. I wasn't sure what this little box was also in the bathroom, and then you move it and it's hiding the plumbing that is coming up from the floor. So obviously that should have probably been rerouted underneath the floor, or instead of just covering it up. Speaking of the floor, the carpeting is very badly stained in that dining room area, and that in the bedroom, I don't even know what that is, but I kind of tapped on it and it's almost like it's a hard crusted tar or wax that's on the carpeting. So obviously whoever's going to be moving in is going to be getting new flooring. Speaking of the floors, they are terribly uneven throughout the entire home, which is obvious in some of these pictures, but it's also made even more obvious when you don't pull the rest of the carpeting out from underneath the gaps of the floor. The floor behind the furnace is also a little bit scary, so that might detract somebody who is looking for a one-level ranch home, low maintenance, and that might look like a repair that they're not willing to get into. The utility room is also unfinished at the top. It would have been really nice if that wall would have went all the way up to the ceiling, because I'm sure when that furnace kicks on, it's definitely going to be pretty loud throughout the home. The pictures look pretty nice with the hardwood floors and the gray walls. It looks like it's almost a flip where everything would be relatively new. But as soon as you walk in, then there's very obvious signs that things weren't done 100% and that there was still a lot of work to do. Especially the paint job, it was just done a little bit messily. There's paint on the cabinets, paint on the windows, different things like that. Things like the can opener, go ahead and get rid of that. Nobody wants that there. Go ahead and clean it up. And then obviously there's some chipping and peeling paint around the doors in the bathroom, just little things. Now this brings me to my biggest area of concern, which is that back deck. It just seems that everything inside the house was kind of attempted, and then the deck was completely 100% ignored. You have the door falling off, screens popping off the windows. It's just not in great shape. You have peeling paint everywhere, which would actually prevent FHA, USDA, and VA buyers from even being able to consider this home. And that could really open up about 75% of your buyer pool if those things were addressed. By the way, just wanted to let you know that the deadbolt of the front door is not functional. It is totally engaged, but you can still open the door regardless. Just wanted to let you know. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Katina, oh my gosh, you just went into the house with the sole purpose of ripping it to shreds. My apologies, guys. That's really not my intention at all whatsoever. I wanted to show you, however, that at $140,000, people who are shopping in Elwood are able to get a house with a yard, or a garage, or a finished basement, or even some appliances. One or a combination of any of those amenities, and those are not amenities that your home offers. When you look at the comparable homes that I completed for your pricing report, I think that you're going to find that the other homes that have sold somewhere in between $110,000 to $125,000 are on par with what your home offers. We do still have some issues of condition, so that price range is an experimental price range just to see, based on the other competition, what buyers we're attracting, and we may need to play off of that. I'm not suggesting at all whatsoever that you go in and level all the floors and re-drywall the place. That's not what I'm saying at all whatsoever. I'm saying do some minimal cleanup, get it tidied up, and then just be honest with the condition, and we may need to experiment with the price. When you're looking at that report, please pay special attention to the home at 1023 Etna. I actually sold that property after it was listed with another agent and they weren't able to sell it. I listed it at 125, we sold it at 130 after multiple offers. It is similar in size, it does not have a basement, but it does have a garage and a large yard. And that again sold at $130,000, so we know that we're underneath that price as well. Let me know what questions you have, and you know that I'm always here and happy to help.